Happy Friday, everyone. I'm student meteorologist Sammy Squires.
And I'm student meteorologist Sarah Converse.
Well, we've had a wonderful day outside today.
A bit chilly out there.
Contrary to the last few days where we've received a lot of rain.
Yeah, it was a big change from yesterday being all gloomy and kind of, I knew for me and that kind of weather makes me a bit more sluggish. And then today we had sunshine, there was not a cloud in the sky, and it was pretty nice outside. We did have we had that cool down of that cold front come through.
Lots of colder air behind this cold front, so outside's in the morning, you could definitely feel it, especially if you're riding your bike. I mean, I had to layer up because the wind chill, you could feel it even riding your bike. So
yeah, definitely bringing out the jeans and all the cold stuff out. I know I grabbed all that stuff when I went up to Georgia to see my grandpa and my dad. I'm like, bring my cold clothes because we're gonna get those cold like temperatures here. So I'm actually enjoying it a little bit. I'm not much of a cold person, but hey, it's I mean, give or take.
At least we have the sunshine, you know, that's all that matters. But for now, we're going to take it over to Katie.
Thanks, guys. Well, it's feeling pretty good right now. 54, mostly clear, really calm winds. That's nice. We don't get that wind chill, making it even colder than it already is. Our satellite looking clear and beautiful. It's going to be a great evening. Not a cloud in sight here in Tallahassee. Zooming out a little bit, we have this high pressure dome off to our west that's kind of dominating the region. That's really keeping those clouds away and keeping those skies nice and clear and sunny. That's going to stick around for a while, well into next week, which is good for Thanksgiving. Looking at our weekend, sunny, and more sun, warming up to 71 on Monday, and weather headlines, cool and dry, high pressure. It's going to be a great Thanksgiving. Now let's send it back to the desk with Sammy and Sloan for the Metro.
Thanks, Katie. So our current Metro location is Salt Lake City, Utah, and we're about to pick our new one for the week.
All right, so Sloan, I'll shake it up for you, and are you ready to pick?
Okay, let's see. We have Seattle, Washington. I've never been there, but I've always wanted to go because I've heard it's always raining. I think that's pretty cool that all around the nation there's different climates everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that the terrain there is gorgeous. I've seen lots of movies from that area. I've always wanted to visit, so it'll be very cool to see the forecast, what we'll see for not next week, but the week after that.
Yeah, we will not be having shows next week due to Thanksgiving, but the following week, make sure you stay tuned to know what's going on in Seattle. But I'm going to pass it back to the wall now with Dylan.
Thanks, guys. Well, Seattle has two coffee places, Seattle's Best Coffee and Starbucks Coffee, home of those two. But you're going to need your coffee, hot coffee, because look at these temperatures. We're way below average. If you think it's cold outside, you're not wrong. It's way below average. 13 degrees below average on our high, and I can't do math right now, on our low, but it's much below average. Going into our current temperatures, again, below average. Clearing out just a bit. Jake and I went out and played a little bit of golf, and we saw some beautiful clouds out there. Little poofy cumulus clouds. A light wind, though, helping that wind chill value get a little colder and feeling much less colder than 54 degrees. And throughout much of the region, clear skies and cold temperatures are the story. It's not feeling great. You're going to need those layers, because I went out this morning, didn't realize it was 35 degrees, and was like, I dressed incorrectly, and you want to dress correctly when you have 50 degrees in Quincy, 54 in Bainbridge, and these are just going to keep dropping and dropping as we get into tonight. Going into our dew points, it's feeling a little dry. Now, you might not feel the impacts today because the first day of dry conditions, you don't need to bring out the chapstick, but tomorrow and then days with these drier conditions, really going to feel like chapstick-like weather, as people would always say. So make sure you have the chapstick on hand for the next week of these dry conditions sticking around. Speaking of sticking around, clouds aren't, because they're gone. Everything is gone. It is clear in our region, and then clear throughout much of the eastern part of the country. As everyone would say, high pressure is dominating our region, and that's going to be the big story. This next frontal boundary going to dissipate as it starts to move eastward, but it is going to affect our temperatures nonetheless, but we're not going to see rain, just a few bit of clouds into next week. Going into tonight's conditions, you see these temperatures continue to drop. You see these clear skies, And with the clear skies, you have radiational cooling. And with the radiational cooling, as the night comes on, no sun is coming in, the ground can cool and cool things off, and that's why you see these 30-degree lows, very, very cold. And then looking at our highs, you have this contrast to it, right? You have those cool mornings, light winds, not a lot of clouds to trap the heat in, but then in the afternoon, those clouds are gone, the conditions are nice and sunny, and it warms up. That's why we see these 30-degree temperature swings as we get into the afternoon. 68 degrees in Tallahassee, waking up to 39. How do you dress for that? I mean, you wake up in the morning and it's freezing, and then in the afternoon you got to pull off all the layers because it's just warm in the afternoon. Not super warm though. 60 degrees is not something to mess with, and we're still below our average of 70 into tomorrow. Hey, if you want to go out the fair, Saturday or Sunday is your last day to do that, but tomorrow, absolutely gorgeous day as you get into noon. Great times to go, 61 degrees at noon, clear skies, and then cooling down just a bit. Make sure you have your jacket at 10 p.m. on tomorrow night. And then going into your next 7 days, we see the cold temperatures stick around. The sun is definitely sticking around though, so we're feeling warmer than we did today, only a high of 60 today, and then feeling those warmer 68s and 70s into Sunday. Our lows picking up just a little bit, but then as we start into the work week, most people might be gone by now, already going home for Thanksgiving. The clouds come back just a bit, and we still stay a little bit warmer. Same with those lows. They're not getting as cold when you have those cloud cover to let the radiation escape the earth. And then as we get into your Thanksgiving forecast, absolutely gorgeous. Once that next frontal system comes through and cools our highs back to the 60s, you're going to see 66 degrees here in Tallahassee for your Thanksgiving. But then rain chances come back into Friday as another low pressure system brings in some rain. But now let's send it over to Sarah with the southeast.
Thanks, Dylan. So zooming out into the southeast, we are still seeing some fall-like temperatures here as we have those yellows and those greens, as we have 67 in Dallas, 52 in Montgomery right now, and 61 in Tampa. South Florida still seeing those warmer-like temperatures, 73 in Miami, so not really seeing that cool down as we're seeing here. Now our dew points really do show how we have that dry air behind that frontal system, as we have 19 at Lubbock, over in Texas, 39 in Shreveport, and 40 in Tallahassee. So definitely make sure you have that chapstick on at hand, especially as we move on to the next couple days, as it will be pretty dry out. South Florida still seeing a little bit more muggier conditions over there, 61 in Miami, but still not too bad down there, pretty pleasant over in Miami. Now as we move on into our wind speeds, you can really see where that high pressure is located as we have this clockwise motion of these winds as we're bringing in that dry continental air. That's why we have that dry air in place with those dew points, and as we move off through into our satellite radar, boom. That's where you can see that high pressure system really map out where those winds are in that clockwise rotation, bringing in clear skies for the southeast. So very pleasant for this couple days and for this weekend ahead as that high pressure sticks around for the next 24 hours. Not a cloud right now as we move on into the weekend. Saturday, maybe see a few clouds offshore into east of Florida, but overall seeing that high pressure system really dominate our area. Moving off through into evening on Saturday, still high pressure system really dominating as we have that other frontal system bringing in some of that cloud cover, but nothing going to be seen here into the southeast. But for tonight, we're going to sticking blue all over in the southeast except for South Florida. So off into our west, we have 38 in Jackson, 46 in New Orleans, and as we move on into Florida, going to get a little bit warmer as we go down. You can really see the breaking point in Tampa at 49. And as we move on down to South Florida, seeing those a little bit warmer like nights at 71 in Key West. And now if you're going out golfing in Atlanta, going to start off very chilly. So I was just definitely bundling up. 38 for that low for that morning, but quickly warming up to 58 by noon. And then by 3 p.m. still pretty cool. I mean, for my opinion, 61 pretty cool. So didn't have a light jacket out and about. Then for tomorrow, seeing a beautiful gradient of those temperatures, cooler like temperature 69 in Shreveport, and then moving down to South Florida, 80 in Miami. But for now, we're going to send things over to the lab with Sammy.
Thank you, Sarah. So I'm super excited to talk about this topic. Now, we're talking about the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade and how weather affects it. So this is a little under a week away. Now, of course, it is a Thanksgiving morning tradition in New York City. It's watched by more than 40 million people. That's a whole lot of people watching one parade. Now, weather has a huge role in with these parades because the balloons are heavy and it can often cause damage with the wind. Now, wind affects the parade by having regulations by New York City. Now, 23 miles per hour, it has to be under that, and wind gusts have to be less than 34 miles per hour. It's dangerous if you do not follow these regulations. There have been multiple incidents. 1997, Cat in the Hat balloon. So the Cat in the Hat balloon collided into a lamp post, and due to the strong winds blowing it off course, so that's where wind has really taken a toll on the parade. Also in 1927, Felix the Cat balloon caught fire, and it got blown into power cords. So that is a very serious thing that could happen and go into the crowd as well. So the balloon design is also very important. There are strict designs in order to avoid disaster. In 1957, the Popeye balloon got like ice water inside the balloon, and unfortunately it dumped on the crowd below it. So lots of things to think about when going in this parade. But for now, I'm going to send it back over to Sarah.
Thanks, Sammy. So zooming out now, a bigger picture from the southeast, now into the national. A really big concern over in New York as right now, they actually did see a lot of snow over there. They got at least 6 inches of snow into Central Park. So right now we're sitting those cooler-like temperatures off into our north, and then a little bit warmer, more fall-like temperatures as we move down south, 67 in Dallas, Fort Worth. And now as we move on into our dew points, all basically of the United States is very dry out. So definitely going to need that chapstick at hand. 18 in Albuquerque. Oof, really dry over there. And then, of course, we have that little moister spot over in Florida, in Miami at 61. Not really wanting to participate in these fall-like temperatures. Now, as we move on into our wind speeds, as I said with the southeast, you can see where that high-pressure system is dominating. And if you move out into over in Maine, you can see where that low-pressure system is, where that cold front has now moved offshore. Then we also see that other low pressure system off into the Midwest over here. So take a mental picture of this, and then as I move on into the satellite radar, boom, everything matches up as we have that high pressure system down over in the southeast, and then that low pressure system off to the northeast. Still bringing a lot of snow over to the northeast, and also this front right here that you're thinking, oh, is going to bring some more cooler like temperatures, maybe another cold front. No, it's going to be more of a dry front, not really going to bring those cooler-like temperatures, more like that pleasant cloud cover, those puffy cumulus-like clouds, but nothing too serious for us here. But for the northeast, they are still seeing snow. As I said, Central Park did see about 6 inches of snow, so that is a lot of snow up there. Still seeing the remnants of that cold front move off through. That's why they're still under a winter storm warning. That's in that pink. That's until today, until 8 o'clock. And as we move on into that purple color, we still have that winter weather advisories, parts of Maine and into New York as well, having that lake effect snow, and that's until Saturday morning. Now moving off into the Midwest, as you saw on that map, you did see snow, and there's that snow, and a little bit of rain too as well, and they do have some winter weather advisory. So winter storm warning in that pink. We have a few in North Dakota and also in Wyoming, and then also with the winter weather advisory in that blue stretching out along the Midwest over there. So definitely keep that in effect. Maybe see some chill warnings out there. Now for the next 24 hours, that cold front did move out. We did see that high pressure system dominate our area, bringing clearer skies even for most of the United States, as well as seeing a bit of that snow going to Iowa. And as we move on into the next 24 hours, still slowly, you see that cold front not really build up. It's weak, basically dissipating, just bringing mostly that cloud cover. But for tonight, most of everyone is feeling blue out here as we have a lot of cooler like temperatures. Billings at 14 degrees. Whew, very chilly over there. Make sure to bundle up. And then over into the southeast, seeing 41 in Memphis, Minneapolis at 19 as well. So very cold as we have a lot of snow out and about. Definitely make sure to bundle up. And then for tomorrow, seeing another nice fall-like temperatures. We have the cooler-like temperatures. Billings, again, 29, very cold up there. And as we get warmer down as we get to southeast, 66 in Memphis and 68 in Tallahassee. But for now, I'm going to send things over with Salone with our Salt Lake City forecast.
So we're going to take a look at Michael's metro location for the week, which is Salt Lake City. Fun fact, Salt Lake is actually called the Great Salt Lake because it doesn't have a water outlet, so it keeps its water levels a bit saltier than normal. But currently for the region, we are at 51 degrees. Some sunshine, no cloudy skies in sight for the region. Most of the region in the lower 50s and mid 40s. Dew points, it is very dry if we take a look at it. Over in Wendover at 15, and the more we go east, we see it increase into the 20s. So very dry conditions out there. And wind speeds and direction, as Sarah mentioned, we do have this front coming into the area into tomorrow. So expect these winds to shift a bit northward, bringing that cooler air and some of those winter weather advisories into their location as well. As we can see, again, not a lot of cloud cover, mostly clear skies throughout much of Utah right now. It's a beautiful day out there, a bit chilly though, as we saw earlier, with temperatures a little bit similar to us though. And here is that front that Sarah was talking about earlier. It's supposed to dissipate. This is supposed to reach our location of interest, Salt Lake City, by tomorrow, which is going to bring some rain into the area. A lot of clouds. When we look at the radar, we'll see that as well. We see these clouds come in overnight as that front moves in, and we see these precipitation showers associated with them. Parts of the northern part of the state will have some snow, but if we do look at Salt Lake City, they don't really have that cloud cover yet. Going into tomorrow morning, we see the cloud cover and some showers move through their area, which is why they do have a chance of showers tomorrow as well. And their temperature forecast, you see they dip down into the 30s for a majority of the region, which is pretty similar to what we had this morning here in Tallahassee. We did wake up in the 30s. So if you think about it, we're quite similar to Utah this time of year, and that's a bit scary for us because we skipped fall real quick here in Tallahassee. But temperatures tomorrow morning, waking up at about 34 degrees, Dugway at 30, but the rest of the region sticking to the mid to higher 30s as well. And if we look at the afternoon, we'll see it warm up to the 40s for much of the region. Wendover warmer again at 47, but as we go east, we do see these temperatures drop into the lower 40s as well. Salt Lake City especially going to be in the 40s tomorrow. So cooling off a bit there. If we look at tonight's forecast, we do have some rain in the northern half, but we saw that due to that front moving through the region. Some cloudy conditions in Salt Lake City and Park City, sticking to the lower 30s and high 20s for the region. But if we check out tomorrow, we do see these temperatures heat up into the 40s. Park City a bit cooler at 36 since they are part of that mountain range, but no rain in sight, just a lot of cloud, maybe a morning shower here or there, but other than that, I'm going to pass it to Sammy to look at Florida.
All right, thank you so much, Sloan. So our current temperature here in Florida, not quite close to what Utah is looking at. Tallahassee, 54 degrees, and Fort Myers is around 66 degrees. Key West is at a nice 72 degrees, so they're feeling nice and warm right now compared to what we are feeling. Speaking about what we're feeling, the dew points. Now, Tallahassee is at around 40 right now, and 44 for Jacksonville. Now, all of this tan represents that drier dew point. If you feel like you need lotion or chapstick, that's due to this dew point feeling very dry. Towards the coast around West Palm Beach, Miami, they're a little bit warmer still. That dew point is a little bit higher. So our wind speed and direction, just a light wind coming from the north. You could start to see this a little bit of a high pressure system right over Florida that will be dominating over our region for the next few days. As far as our satellite and radar, not a cloud in the sky throughout the majority of today. If you've been outside, if not, there was no clouds, and it will be quite similar to that tomorrow. Now, Friday warming up, but for tonight's temperatures, we're looking around the Big Bend region, 38 in Tallahassee, 42 for St. Mark's. Towards the coast, it will be in the 40s with Apalachicola around 43 degrees. And Destin over at 45 degrees. They will have a little bit more cloud coverage than we will have here in Tallahassee. Now, if we start to look at central Florida, you could see not too many clouds throughout the majority of Florida today and into tonight. Temperatures remaining from 39 in Jacksonville, with being our coldest, and over in Melbourne of 53 degrees. So they are a little bit warmer near that coast. And speaking of the coast near Miami, they received a little bit more cloud coverage during the first half of the day, but remaining into the second half of the day, those clouds start to disappear and into the night ahead. These temperatures are a little bit warmer than what we are experiencing up north, 64 for Homestead. A little bit colder on the Gulf side with Naples, Fort Myers being in the lower 50s. Key West, which is kind of cut off from our viewing area, is at a nice 71 degrees. For the next 24 hours, though, we could expect it to be nice and clear throughout our area and into pretty much no clouds throughout tomorrow and into looking at these temperatures, Gainesville 72, Orlando nice and sunny at 76, and Miami at 80. But for now, I'm going to send it off over to the desk.
Thank you very much, Sammy. You know what we've got going on right now? If you're watching the show at 6:15-ish, FSU's taking on USF in women's soccer. Game's tied at 1-1 right now.
Wow.
Number 5 FSU against number 25 USF in the second round of the NCAA championship. Hopefully we can win again this year.
Yeah, that would be great.
We're no longer a football school. We're a women's soccer, softball, basketball, every sport except football we seem to be doing very well on this year.
Yeah.
The winner of tonight's game will go on to play USC, who played today against LSU and beat LSU. That game will take place on Sunday, and what are you going to have to wear, Katie?
Oh, it's going to be cold, so you'll want to bring a jacket at least.
Yeah, definitely. 1 o'clock's not too bad in terms of temperatures, but it's still, you got those upper 60s, so if you're not used to that, you're going to need a jacket.
Yep. And tomorrow we have our football game against Boston College. Kickoff is at 3:30.
Hey, 3:30 isn't bad.
Yeah.
Except it might be cold at the end. That's really the kicker, because if the game goes on a little too long, you get into 6 o'clock and the sun starts to set, to feel a little
then it
cold.
gets cold.
Yeah. Our second to last home game for the season. Hopefully the Noles can pull out a win.
I know, yeah. Go Noles, come on.
Yeah. And if you want to celebrate football early, you can celebrate tonight. Friday night block party is going on at College Town tonight. The singer for today, Brown and Gary, I have no idea who those people are, but they seem to be country artists because that's all Friday night block party seems to have.
Yeah. And remember, our shows for next week are canceled, so...
Yep, a lot of us will be out going home.
Yep.
But to tell us what the week ahead is going to look like, let's send it over to Salome.
Thanks, guys. But you can see behind me, this afternoon was beautiful in Tallahassee. A bit chilly with those temperatures we saw this morning in the 30s, but it was still a beautiful day. We see some clouds roll through here and there. We see this beautiful sunset behind me. I'm really upset I didn't get to catch it, but I hope y'all at happy hour got to see a beautiful sunset ahead of you. Currently, it is 54 degrees in Tallahassee, mostly clear skies, light winds from the north-northwest, so no gusty winds at all tonight, just chilly outside. Temperatures for current conditions, we do see clear skies all about the area. Again, just a few clouds here in Tallahassee, but temperatures are sticking in the mid-40s, mid-50s as we go a bit closer to the coast. And then St. Mark's is the warmest right there at 61. Dew points, we are very dry to what we saw earlier this week. We are in the 40s and 30s for much of the region, and that front that's supposed to come through our area later in the week, we're calling that a dry front. It's going to dry us out a little bit more, so that's going to be really nice for us. If we take a look at the radar here, we do see nothing's really happening. A few stuff down there in the ocean, but nothing happening here on land. So again, a beautiful day. But let's take a look at the nation for a minute, and we do see this front moving in from the west. That's going to be our dry front. But if we take a look at the southeast, we do see these high pressures dominating much of the region, and we had this cold front move off land, and that's actually what cooled us off this week. If we look at the next 24 hours, we're going to see that there's not a lot happening here. A bit boring week weather-wise for us here in Tallahassee. Clear skies all around, especially waking up tomorrow morning. It'd be a great time to go for a run there at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And if we take a look at the afternoon, we do see no cloud cover at all either. So it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. If you're going to be outside, tomorrow's the day to be outside. And those temperatures are going to be a bit warmer than today as well. So make sure you take advantage of that. Temperature forecast for tonight, we see we are going down into the 40s for much of the region, waking up in the low 40s, mid 40s, closer to the coast, since they do have a little bit more moisture than we do. But if we look in southern Georgia and the northern Big Bend region, we do see the temperatures in the lower 40s. So a chilly start, but not as chilly as we saw today. But in the afternoon, expect us to heat up into the low 60s for a majority of the region. As Dylan said, it's hard to dress for this type of weather because you're putting layers on the morning. You have to take them all off in the afternoon. Tonight, 37 as your low, clear and cold. So if you are out and about Tallahassee, make sure you keep that jacket handy. But tomorrow, 68, cooler, warmer than what we've seen today, but still cool. It's that fall weather that we've been waiting for, and we do see those winds a bit north. If you are going to go golfing tomorrow, 8 a.m., 46, but immediately heating up into the 60s by noon. So make sure you take advantage of that, especially if you're an avid golfer like our producer Michael is. If you're going to be out at the football game, unranked FSU versus number 20 Boston College, 68 degrees at kickoff. So when that shade rolls around, you're going to have a sweatshirt on hand. And for the next 7 days, look at this beautiful weekend we have ahead of us. Temperatures increasing a bit, but looking later in the week, Thanksgiving week, we do go up into the higher 60s and 70s, but we're still very dry. Now I'm going to hand it off to Sarah and Dylan.
Thank you very much, Sloan. Well, yesterday, Sammy and I and Jake, who was out with us, we went to a local school, the Tallahassee School of Science and Math and Science, and we had FSU weather on wheels, as we would call it.
Awesome.
So there's a picture of Sammy and I. Jake was the one taking the picture.
Okay, so he was behind the camera.
We don't want to leave him out. He's actually watching the USF FSU soccer game right now, so that's why he's not here. But a lovely picture of us. Great to go out and help the community.
Definitely.
But we told them it's going to be cold and want to keep the jacket around for sure.
Definitely. We bring that 7-day up. It's going to be pretty chilly. I know you were saying that when you walked out, you were not prepared.
I only had one layer, a short sleeve shirt, and jeans, and I go, whoops, I did not look at the weather. I didn't realize, I knew it was going to be cold, and I was telling people it was going to be cold yesterday, but I didn't realize it was going to be cold.
You had one job.
One job.
Unfortunately.
But
we're going to have a slight warm-up, but even then, still, it's going to be pretty chilly out in those mornings, so, you're going to have to, compensate for those colder mornings and then a little bit warmer.
Right, have clothes that you can take off, like the jackets, unzippable jackets or hoodies. Those are the way to go because you don't want to put on those 3 layers of pants in the morning and then be stuck with 3 layers of pants in the afternoon.
Yeah, and be sweating, whatever you're doing. If you're going to the football game or going out to the fair. You don't want to be miserable.
Well, the football game too, you want to bring a jacket with you because it's not going to be super cold at the start of the game, but at the end of the game, it's starting to get cold and on your walk home for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And then we'll have another cool down as we get into Thanksgiving week, but most of everyone should be gone. I know you're not going to be. You're going to be
unfortunately staying here. It's a nice break to get away from all the students, even though I'm a student. We have high pressure defending, as we were talking about, the southeast, keeping away those low pressure systems and those frontal systems.
But don't let the social medias keep you away. Come to us. Go like us on Twitter, like us on Facebook.
You can also watch us on YouTube and watch our live streams live and watch our old broadcast if you want.
And also shout us out on Instagram. Send us some pictures of the cool weather you bundling up, or if you're not from here, send us some snow pictures.
Absolutely. We did see someone I know, Ariana, who's been on the show, has sent me pictures this morning of little snow pellets on the ground. They're just frosty, cold flakes that have flaked over.
Yeah, but for us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Sarah Converse.
I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith. Have a great night.